Hey, Jason is my buddy. I know y'all like him. He's a good guy. Look at him, the Don Juan. Look at his legs.
Why did you leave Saturday?
Saturday when?
You texted me?
I text you, listen.
And I texted you a minute later and said no.
Listen, make it what you want to make it then, sir. I'm not getting ready to tap dance to you, man, on what's reasonable. If you want to get me off this program and tell the judge I need to go back to jail, then that's what you do. If you're going to be unreasonable with latitude that you say you have,
I'm not being unreasonable.
well then I ain't going nowhere but probably
But here's the thing.
5 feet to the store on the corner.
When you have no schedule, you have no schedule.
Well, you need to give me a schedule then.
I did give you a schedule.
That schedule's not good enough for me. I'm dying over there.
You know what?
I know you don't care.
I don't care about
I know you don't care.
That schedule was
Listen, that schedule is not good enough for me.
Then here's what we're going to do.
Do what you want to do.
You are going to be locked down then.
Why?
Sir?
Because it's house arrest.
House arrest, man, listen. He gave me a parameter. I've been calling him all day. This gentleman here. I respect this gentleman. He's a young kid who I respect. I'll be dying. He'll have this world. My son is close to his age. Now, I have given him the ultimate of respect since I met him. I understand that this is a program of which I am compliant to. They are accusing me of something that I'm not guilty of. Okay. Now, if I get in this program infrastructurally and I show my behavior that I can't comply
Could only
to
be
the
good.
rules, see, this is not good for me. I've been calling him. I have it documented that I've been calling Jason. His phone was not even taking messages.
Today?
Yesterday, I've been calling Jason.
Mr. Wooden, you call me nonstop.
Well, if I have a problem, what do I need to do? I'm a sick person, sir.
Okay.
Look, hey,
listen, since I've been locked down.
Stop for a second. Quit crying for me.
Man, look, ain't nobody crying for me.
You are.
Who are you?
Okay.
Man, don't get me upset.
Don't raise your voice around me. I'll just have to take it in. I don't give a shit.
Hey, I know you don't care.
Okay.
But
I'm not going to sit here and talk to me this way.
I'm not talking to you any kind of way. You came in my house and told me you didn't give a fuck.
I did as a courtesy.
He came to my home. The reason why I talked to him on the square, on the flat, in the sun, that there's no lines, because that's the way this gentleman approached me. He said to me in the presence of my son, he said, listen, I don't give a fuck. Hey, I wasn't mad that he used those words because I'm a man and I'm grown, and I understand that he wasn't insulting me personally. He was telling me that he's the kind of man that walks the straight line. And I like that kind of man. Now, I'm compliant to this man, but this man can't have it both ways. He can't tell me as a client and also as a defendant who hasn't been accused guilty yet in a pre-trial that, and I have no behavior prior to this of any negativity with anybody. I'm 51 years old, and after 50 years, I got this thing on my arm. Okay? I respect this young man. Now, if I tried to call him, and if he gave me a parameter that's 200 yards, which my son said was 2 football fields,
No, well, first of all, sir.
Well, he said 200 yards. That's
right. You're right, 200 yards. I thought you were saying 200 feet. Yeah,
no. Sir, we are not, sir, please. I'm not a criminal. And I don't need him dominating me and using the fact that he subjectively have the authority to tell the judge that I'm uncompliant and send me to jail.
Well, let me tell you the story now. Let me tell you this.
What have I done?
talked to Judge Hogan. I talked to Judge Hogan about me giving you the schedule that I gave you. Why don't you just X out church and all your extracurricular activities that I gave you, if this is going to be the problem. I am in the wrong by giving you a schedule. When house arrest means house arrest, it means house arrest. You can take that up with Judge Hogan.
We're supposed to do what the judge tells us.
I don't mind, Jason. Why you acting like you got an attitude when I like you, man?
I'm just telling you how it is.
Me and you, I told you at the beginning, sir, you and I are not going to be enemies after this process is over.
Yeah. We're not going to be enemies.
I'm not going to disrespect this young man.
But here's the thing.
He has authority.
But here's the thing.
Authority.
Well,
obviously, when I didn't give you a schedule Saturday and you didn't like it, you just left.
I didn't. I don't do things like that. Jason,
you didn't?
Why are you not giving me an individual analysis instead of treating me like the people you deal with all the time?
I'm treating you like I treat everybody else.
Here.
I get it.
You can't treat me like everybody else. I'm not everybody else, Jason. I don't treat you like everybody else. You're a good, strong, straightforward kid to me. Now, I understand my position here, but sir, I have not, at any moment in time, you can ask my son, I told you what kind of person I am. It is what you see and it is what you get, just like you are. I appreciate the fact that you had showed enough kindness to me that the judge, and I already sent my memorandum down. I'm dealing with this legally. It's no big deal. I have a lawyer on it. But sir, listen, I am not going to be your enemy. I am not a rebellious old man that's against the state's regulations and rules. I reasonably called you, and it was just of such a nature, it wasn't even, it probably was 20 feet outside of what he gave me, and I called. And he's been such a reasonable guy. I didn't think that he would be so strict and so brutal on a person who don't have any history in this kind of deal at all, Jason.
Excuse me.
I knew.
I get it.
I may make some new mistakes. I've been trying to communicate with you, man. I don't want them saying
You put me in
that
a
I
bad
can't even.
position.
How?
I gotta let the judge know.
Why?
No schedule's no schedule, man.
But you gave me a schedule. A
And not on
schedule.
Saturday.
Listen, I called you. Remember
And
that
I
time
said
spoke
no
to you?
within a minute. You texted within a minute. I said
Sir,
no.
you text me back. By the time you text me back, I was going up to the corner.
So you don't want to wait till for permission at all?
I really wish you would have called me, Jason. I've been calling you. Why you didn't call me and just tell me, Mr. Woodman, we want you to stay in the house?
Here's the deal. On Saturdays, I've got soccer games with kids.
I know you do,
I've
man.
got a life.
I've heard
that
your
I've
kids
got
in the
to-
background. I know you have a life. I heard your kids
And I
in the
answer the
background.
phone every time I can.
I know you do. But listen, I don't want this to be.
Mark, do you have his old equipment?
Not on me. I didn't know to bring it.
You guys didn't bring it?
No, I didn't bring it, Jason. We can run back to the house. We don't stay that far from here.
I know.
But listen, if you want to make this an issue legally, I have no control.
I'm
I
not.
know that
I'm
I
gonna
have
tell
been
the
trying
courts.
my best.
Here's the deal. I'm going to let the courts know that you need to stay on this program, and this is not going to happen.
Now, what program?
The house arrest instead of jail.
I was gonna say, there's some
Well, I
other girls
appreciate that, but
are out
listen
there.
to me.
Okay.
Why are you so
And I got Mr. Olson
The
up
reason
there
being
too,
is, you know
so
what?
we'll get through them.
You say you
This hooks
respect
up
me
at
and all
the
this
house.
stuff, and then all of a sudden you
Say do what
leave.
now?
When he hooks this up at the house,
No, I
Okay.
gave
it does
you
not need a telephone line anymore.
No telephone
This is
line.
new stuff.
Okay, no telephone line.
So all it needs is electricity,
Okay, thank you.
and it needs to be not moved once it's plugged in. Okay?
You have tape today?
No,
this-
I have to.
There is no spot for anything other than your power cord.
So when you say it can't move, it can't.
Don't pick it up. It's got a motion sensor in it, so put it somewhere near a
No,
window,
you're not on YouTube, sir.
Promise?
because you want to
Well,
make sure
I'm in ministry now.
that the first light
I'm in
and
ministry.
the third light are
On
on.
YouTube.
I'm not trying.
If you see the first light and the third light that are still on,
Listen, Jameson, what Jason? You got me calling you.
Thumbs
I
up,
told
like I
you
just
this
call your
guy.
First light and third light is on. Okay.
I
It's
like
gold.
him
Can you
because
just,
they're aligned with
first and third. That's all you'll
You got a little
need to
post-it
know.
note or something here? I can just,
This is very difficult for me.
I mean, that'll be this, you know.
Listen, why are you?
No other lights are going to turn on. Just plug it in, put it somewhere where it can't get knocked over. That's all it is.
You're a crack.
Okay? If there's something,
First and third is good to go.
First is good.
If they're blinking or they're solid.
they won't blink that much. They're gonna,
Okay.
when you first plug it in, I might do a little, but that's it.
Okay.
Okay? It's going to have its
I told you I was
time where it's going to settle in, so to speak. Okay?
Okay.
But once that settling time's done, all he has to do is follow his schedule, and we're good to
Now,
go.
when you say settle in, what does that mean? Like it's going to be going off saying he's not in there,
Well,
or
it's going to settle in. It's going to make sure it's level. Okay. It's going to
Okay.
reset its tilt because
Okay.
it's tilting it right now. You know what I mean? So it's settled in, good to go.
okay,
Okay.
Once settle in, let it go. Okay.
Yeah. And all I'm sending you with is the box, a power cord, and this carry bag. That's
Don't
it.
move.
Yeah. Don't move the box.
All right, don't move the box.
I wouldn't
Rub it in.
leave the box in the bag either.
No.
Just set it on a table somewhere where you're going to get a good cell phone
I've got
signal,
to petition her.
and you're good to go.
I can't.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
And you don't need that landline phone anymore.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
That's good stuff.
And
Because
it's the same perimeter for 200 yards.
I really
Okay.
do. This
So,
condition that I have, one of the reasons why I've been able
he needs to fill out. If he can stop this and finish filling out equipment, then he can go.
Filling out equipment. Well, he has to talk to Jason about this, so that's just.
Yeah. Well, he needs to fill out that paperwork before he can leave.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. That'll happen. Okay.
Eat it up. The nerves must move to be trained. If you don't move it, you lose it. And the judge, I don't know why she don't understand this. And then listen, I don't have a victim. I haven't touched anyone, hurt anyone. It's a general peace disturbance by the observation of a police officer and whoever else, and that's it.
Okay.
I'm in a wheelchair. For the first time in my life, I've had this thing one night.
And sir, I I understand.
And I'm trying to abide by everything you guys are asking me.
Well, and what we're just trying to do is do what the judge tells us.
Well, I was told when he came to my home, sir, when I first met your company, and I imagined that you were, I don't know if you're the owner or not. I did my research. You, Mr. Michael? Okay, I did my research on you, Mr. Michael. Yes, I did. Glad to meet you, good sir.
Glad to meet you.
And I see that you're a private business, but you're in a good industry. For the millennial, I might say, capitalistically. And
Have a good day, sir.
Hey, sir, nice meeting you. And listen, no harm, no foul. With me and you, I'm just a straightforward guy.
We're both gonna sleep like babies, right?
I'm gonna sleep like a baby, even
That's
with the thing on. Listen, Mr. Michael, I'm calling you Mr. Michael because I did my research. After I was a little bit perplexed at the anonymous nature for me as a client to try to make sure I'm compliant. Why the judge is so biased toward this citizen in a wheelchair, I can't begin to imagine. And we don't. That's not your job to wonder. You are here to do what the business that you're in. I respect.
The judge tells us.
And then, but see, you say, but then if you do what the judge tells you to, how do you give sentencing with dignity for a person who's sick here? This judge, listen, when I was in jail,
Jason, are you
listen,
going?
I can barely walk now.
You know
That's why my son is here.
Sir, what my suggestion is if you can get documentation from your doctor.
I'll go to the doctor. That's what I'm gonna have to do. Or are you simply saying now that I can't go to church?
Well, again, that is.
I'm going to petition to the courts tomorrow.
Yeah, if the judge authorizes us to let you out to go to church, then we'll do that.
Where do I have a parameter to go to the trash can? In the back of the house?
Well, then
to go around the back and come in the backyard?
Basically what they said was you got a distance of 200 yards. So
that's all I've used.
So,
except for one time when I called him. And I'm very conscious of the numbers.
Yeah.
See, because one thing I've learned, sir, numbers can't be fudged. If they do, they're going to let you know somebody messing with you.
My suggestion is to get in touch with your doctor. Have your doctor write a letter as to what your diagnosis is, what the course of what you need to do.
Their own doctor said I need movement when I was in the workout.
And that's what I'm suggesting that you do, sir. And then that way, we can petition the court, and when the court says, yes, you're authorized to do this, this, and this, then it's just a matter of setting the schedule.
So then, what he did was a violation of the order, supposedly? If these orders are given like this, what I'm saying to you,
I don't know what you mean by
well, let me be clear to you. And I'm a little, see, it's hard to be a separate advocate for yourself when you're so emotionally involved. Because emotions mess up impassioned academia, as you well know. Just crunching the numbers. You can't get emotion because the numbers are numbers, and you don't need no emotion. Now, with that being said, sir, I imagine that when you get these orders in the business that you do, and the judge give an order, like he told me, I don't think he did anything wrong. He was comfortable and sure. This is a good young man. I said he ought to be I hope you put him on the side with you so he can own the company one day. Or get a company like yours, you have a protege, and spread out. He's a good young man. Now, he said to me, he said, don't worry about it. Because I was worried about going to church and those simple things that are good for rehabilitation if that is the case. If that is the case, sociologically and psychologically. Instead of all these forced drug programs and anger management programs, what about some church? It's gonna hurt.
Well, here's what, why don't we do this? Why don't we go through the conditions of what our rules are, okay?
He's done that. He didn't give me this though.
Well,
This is going on with this new equipment we have. This is...
So you're saying that what you did previously has been now moot?
No, I made the decision.
No.
It's just like in anything. I mean, is your cell phone any different than what the old cell phones were 3, 4, 5 years ago? It's just a new generation, and it's updated equipment. That's all it is. So when you have a different unit comes in, you just sign different paperwork. That's all.
Why didn't I get this when he came?
I don't know.
I didn't have it filled out.
But now I'm being accused of not being compliant. To you of all people.
Emass, this is
Well, here's the thing.
You would be hanging yourself not to be compliant with you.
Here's the thing. The Saturday thing is what I'm going back to. Did I have you sign any of the papers? No, but I
So
gave you
you
a
making an
paper.
issue of the Saturday thing. I ain't
I
making
am
an issue
making
of
it.
all the blunt. Well, what about the things that you've done?
Because I have to make an issue because I am directed to report to the judge, as I told you.
Well, are you
All right,
going
I'll
to report
put
to
you
the
on the
judge
schedule
all the
for
struggle that I've been having
Bye-bye.
trying to communicate with you?
That's why here's the thing. When you call me right after, I answer a lot of your phone calls. I answer over 90% of your phone calls. But you know what?